future, talk radio will actually educate, inspire, and make you think. The future is now. Topics and music that affect your life from Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.
Today, everyone is a product and everyone needs marketing to succeed. So let's talk about it right now on Marketing Unfiltered with award-winning creative expert Wendi Cooper and her co-host John Hamilton.
Oh, boy. It's another Tuesday night, John.
I love that uplifting
Do you like
little
it?
beat at the very end of our intro there.
That's called a crescendo.
Yeah, the crescendo.
The
Thank you. The
crescendo.
word wasn't coming to me.
Yeah.
But I love that. It's very
You do?
uplifting.
You really like
Yeah,
that?
I
You know,
do.
that was $49 at... where did I get that done? You sent me there. No, it's the place in the UK. Music Beats or Music something like
That's
that.
like a music stock. Is my mic on? Can
No.
you hear me? Okay.
No, it's not. It's actually I told them what I wanted it to say. I told them what I wanted the feeling to be.
Oh, and they record
And
the
I
whole thing?
trusted them with it. And they did it. Then they did that for me. And then they sent it over. And I
For
went,
50
cool.
bucks?
It was like $50 or maybe it
Nice.
was €50.
Well, either way.
Yeah, how
makes
are you,
me feel
John?
good. I'm doing really good.
Are you?
I am doing really good.
So John is a free man.
Yeah.
He's a free man
Yeah.
as of Friday.
Some people call that unemployed. I call it finally doing what I want to do.
Do what you want to do. Do whatever you want
Just
to
for
do.
a couple months, though. Just for a couple months. Take a beat, take a moment, do a little bit of traveling.
Oh,
little
really? In between
zen.
Tuesdays?
Yeah, in between Tuesdays.
I was going to ask you about that. Is your traveling going to happen in between Tuesdays? Are you
Yeah,
planning
in
it? Well, I
between-
can't leave
I'm like,
until after
well,
the show on Tuesday.
I'm actually going to be gone from this Monday to this Wednesday. Sorry, no.
Oh, you are? Where are you
no.
going? To Cuba?
No, I'm going to Cuba in January, though. I was going to go in June, but it was all happening too fast to plan it and to get the visa and get everything. And then it was like I was only going to be gone for 3 days. It didn't seem worth it.
Cassidy
so-
going?
No, we're both going in January.
Oh, well, that's what I meant in January.
Yeah. Instead, we're going
I have
with
this
my folks.
this terrible desire to go to Cuba, and I had a friend that posted these incredible pictures on Facebook. She went to Cuba, and there are these pictures of all of these beautiful old cars, and the color and everything about Cuba.
It's so
is
postcard
so-
still.
Yes,
You know?
and it's like Scotty said last week: get there before the capitalists ruin it.
Yeah, and everyone I've been
Really.
talking to, they're like, get there before it turns into Miami Beach. And while
Yeah.
it's still kind of a time capsule, that's sort
Yeah.
of what you want to go there.
Well,
wanna
you know,
see
the
those-
Italians have been going there for a long time because all of my husband's friends, they would come and visit us in the summertime, and then they would stop in Cuba on the way home for their true vacation because they would come to play volleyball at Six Man in Manhattan Beach, and then on the way back to Italy. Whoops, Tony, I did it. I went like this. See my arm? I did it. It's on Tony. Tell me
It's
not.
on camera, damn it.
Don't let me move my arms in that direction.
Just sit on your palms.
Sorry. I'm so self-conscious. You can live chat and tell me if I look good or not on camera right now.
You look good. I'm live chatting with you right now. You look good. Real-time live chat.
So anyway, they would go to Cuba because they could go to Cuba,
They
and there's
can.
been resorts
Yeah.
in Cuba for
Mhm,
forever,
mhm,
and
mhm.
it's really kind of awesome. But that's that.
How are you?
Me?
Yeah.
How do I look?
You look great. I think we just had a 25-minute conversation about it, but you look really good just to make it publicly known.
It wasn't since Saul Colt was here that John and I had to go and extract somebody from the parking lot. And
That elusive parking lot here, man. It's like
So,
gargantuan.
We're on the Sunset Gower lot, and it's where they film a lot of things here for people that are listening. And it's a massive. If anybody has been in Los Angeles, all we are is surrounded by big giant studios and studio lots
Right.
and sound stage
That
and
are like
things
a
that.
mile long.
So here at UBN, we're in the studio, but out there at UBN is all of this lot, which is
The
very
sound stages
it's
and this and
very
that.
protected, right? So our guest tonight couldn't find parking because we're in the center of Hollywood, right?
Welcome.
And
yeah.
so, and I'm in the green room. This is my lead up to introducing our guest.
Right, yeah.
I'm in the green room and I'm just bullshitting it with Tony, before the show, right? And meanwhile, I can show you, I have like 8 messages from our
Text
guest.
messages, Facebook messages, missed phone calls. Poor thing was wandering
And-
around.
until my phone rang and she is in the elusive parking lot of Gower Studios. And so anyway, yes, so she had to go to the 4th floor, even though the rest of the whole entire parking lot is completely empty,
Right.
including all the parking spaces surrounding the building just outside the door. And we had to walk a half a mile to meet her at the bottom of the elevator because it's frickin' freaky in that stupid parking
and they
lot
take it
at
very
night.
seriously in this town when they're lots. I mean, it's like we have like 100 White Houses here.
I feel very safe walking. I had to walk through the lot one night by myself back to the parking lot, and it was late. It was after that Saul Colt show, and I was by myself and I had to go to the parking lot. And I felt safe, but it's a little creepy.
It's ominous. It's very tall parking structures and lighting every now and then with a big rig truck here and there. And then is that a set or an actual building I'm looking at? Like, where am I? It's a little cuckoo.
Right. And why is Godzilla staring at me from the
Is
corner?
a dinosaur going to come around the freaking corner? Because you never know.
Anyway, so tonight I'm happy to have someone here that is completely awesome because she is just a dynamo. And I know that's a weird word.
I love that word.
But it's the only thing I could say when she got out of the elevator and it was like,
Superhero name.
kabam, I'm here. Anyway, Nicole Rodrigues from NRPR. She is CEO of NRPR Group, which is a wonderful public relations firm, a digital for everything
Branding,
firm, everything firm here in Los Angeles and Beverly Hills. And Nicole, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited to be here. You guys are really sweet.
Well, thank you for being
Thanks.
here. I'm glad it was like an Easter egg hunt finding you, but you found you. You're so
Ta-da.
pint-sized that it literally
Yeah,
was like
you
an
are.
Easter
You're
egg
this little.
hunt.
She's this little, like a little pint size. She's up there on the 4th floor, waving over because John and I are out there going, "We're down here."
Just yelling, just trying to give any help. Sonar,
Can you hear us?
whale calls. Yeah.
Right, you guys sent us a pigeon with a
We
little
did.
note
A
to
scroll.
come down all the way through this elevator.
As
Yeah.
weird as it looks, just
Yeah.
come on
You have to
down.
admit it was a schlep.
Well, yeah, that and the elevator just didn't look like an elevator at first. It literally just looked like a blue thing, and I'm looking for this grandiose
right,
silver
a golden
something,
elevator.
right?
Yeah.
It was just
It was a
No.
little
No.
scary little green door.
Or
Right.
scratched up.
Remember
like
that
someone was
green
trying
door.
to escape all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Hope that you go back out that green door. We're gonna have to.
Well,
I'm
well,
not because my feet.
I'll
are
walk
gonna
you
hurt.
back.
You're gonna
I'll walk you back
you.
there, and then that'll be
Thank
my
you.
first time walking alone back to the studio. So we'll see how that goes.
Somebody
see.
has
Make
to
it
do it.
I got to do it at some point, so I might as well rip that Band-Aid off tonight.
I can't do
There
it.
you go.
I am gonna give you an Easy-Go Pro though, my toilet stool,
can't
which I
wait.
have in
That's
the
the
car.
only reason guests come on the show is for
Right.
an easy.
You have
GoPro.
no idea who
Wait.
puts their feet on this thing.
Was that on Shark Tank?
No, that's Squatty Potty.
Squatty Potty. That's the
Yeah,
one.
Squatty
Okay.
Potty was my client, and I put the anyway. Long story, not
Got
going to
it,
give
got
them
it.
the airtime.
Yeah.
Like I
Yes,
usually
thank
do.
you. The other leading toilet stool company.
Yes,
is
we're
to-
the number 2 toilet stool. We're the cool
Wonderful.
toilet stool. Squatty Potty is kind of like the clinical, funky.
Not funky. That's not the right word. It's funky.
No, it's
plays
not
cool.
funky. Plays cool.
Clunky.
Clinical.
Clinical and clunky. Not
Clinical.
in my opinion. My humble
Clinical.
opinion.
Got it.
Yeah,
Nothing
mine's cool.
slanderous.
Comes in
I'm
different colors. I have a clear one
It's
in the
cool.
car for you.
There you go.
Yeah, the millennial
It's
one.
gonna be
Millennial
awesome.
one.
A millennial clear.
No,
I'm gonna
seriously.
think of you.
Uh,
Wait a minute.
Wait, excuse
Every
me.
time.
Oh, Wendy.
I like that. I like that. You can think about me when you're
Right.
taking a little doo doo because
Yeah.
I imagine
Yeah.
they smell very nice,
We should just put
Like
your face on
flowers.
the bottom
like
of it.
little flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. My face,
Just staring
my
up
face
at you.
staring up at you. Hello.
You're a goer.
Hello. We're actually we looked into doing a. Oh no, I can't talk about that on air.
Oh,
Never mind.
okay.
I'd be giving
Oh.
away secrets.
And-
Sorry.
How tantalizing.
So Nicole, tell me real quick in a nutshell. There, I wanted to write it down and I didn't. But you're on Business Rockstar.
Uh-huh.
You do these episodes, which they're on your website and they're really
Yeah.
awesome. Who is the host of that show?
Ken Rakowski.
So Ken
Yeah.
Rakowski, who I'm assuming is a good friend of yours, also.
I mean, he is my mentor.
He's
now.
amazing.
Yeah, it just we've grown to this amazing friendship, and he's just given me such great advice, and he's really just become a confidant, a big brother, everything, and just a really,
What
really
is-
solid person in my network.
What is his? Okay, first, Wendy, don't go there. Let's explain to our viewers what NPR is. NRPR is. NPR.
I know. I kept thinking
Everyone
that in my
NRPR.
head
I
too.
know.
NPR.
Okay, so can I ask you about that name?
Sure. So NRPR Group is what I like to call a positioning agency. I think my background is definitely public relations. I went to college for PR. I majored in it and decided on my major sophomore year of college, never looked back. But in my career, I was very blessed to have done PR within other realms that helped me see more of the marketing umbrella. So after I worked for the Oakland Raiders, I had actually, let's take it back. I started in traditional enterprise software. That's what you do when you live in the Bay Area and go to school at San Jose State.
Of course.
You go and you work for
In
a
software,
big tech
yeah.
company. And I was very, very lucky to do that for a couple of years. But I wanted to also get my feet wet on the consumer side to see what life was like in PR there. So I went to go work for the Oakland Raiders, and I was very, very fortunate to be able to do that, because what I also saw was a very older way of doing PR where they didn't have the databases, they didn't have some of the fancy tech tools to get work done faster. So I got to learn the long way
Yes.
of doing
Yes.
all of the research.
I always say
Before it
that
was
that's
all
very
digital.
important.
Yeah, we had to open books
Right.
to find contact information, and
Rolodexes.
Like Dewey
Yes.
Decimal System.
and it was such an eye-opening experience, because I found that when I really, really took the time to go the long way, it was better.
Yeah,
And-
you weren't habitually scanning.
Right. That I was actually letting my mind go where it needed to go, connect, and actually come up with different strategies. So
It allows for you the time to do that, to creatively and organically have things arise in you, rather than just it
Scan,
becomes
scan,
a
scan,
you're
scan,
just
scan.
templating things.
Yeah.
You know, it can get to a sort of stamp and move on
definitely.
process.
So from there, I actually went to go work for a company that was an advertising agency and had a small PR practice inside of it. So I got to see what happened in the world of advertising.
Of the agency.
And everything that the ad clients needed, PR was just going to support it. So I kind of got to see how they saw PR and how I kind of worked into that ecosystem. And it was awesome. From there, I actually was recruited to go work at Moby TV, which most people don't know. It's not a consumer brand. But back in the early 2000s, 2004, 2005, they launched mobile television. So everything that we see on our phones now, we have Philip Alvelda, Jeff Anison, and Paul Scanlon to thank, because they literally brought mobile television to the United States.
Wow.
And
Yeah, it was actually, I have to challenge that a little bit, because I think that video online was
video
2000.
online was first,
Yeah.
but on a phone.
Oh, on a phone. Sorry.
On a phone.
On a phone.
Yeah,
You
no,
better
I'm
be
sorry.
sorry.
different.
Apologize.
Sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
no.
On a phone.
Yeah.
And it was great because, the Walt Mossbergs of the world.
You have to think about what our phones were like in 2004. Okay,
spotty.
our
Oh,
phones
well,
were those,
yeah, it was
those little flip
It was
up
the
things
Razor.
that
The Razor
were-
was the biggest deal
Exactly.
in
The flip
phones,
phone, the
right?
candy
The
bar
I don't
phone.
even. I don't even think in 2000.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2004
was
probably
exactly
flipped
when
the
it
flip
came-
phone. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we're on
So
like a
cutting
1G
edge.
network. And when you're trying to download content, do anything with content, you're like, you're frustrated. It's not good. The experience is terrible.
Right. It was horrible.
But what they were banking on was the 4G systems that we have now. And the cool thing is that this
Because they
is
knew
what,
it was going to happen eventually.
Yeah, that the telco companies had to come through and create bigger pipelines for us to enjoy
Yeah, my
content.
husband's in telco.
Right? And so being in that, I just found this love where consumer entertainment, mobile, had a home, and I really
Yeah, but there's
found that.
there's a big long history of product, consumer, home, mobile, back end integration.
And I love it all. And I honestly, from nuts to bolts to being able to watch it, it's fantastic. And that's where I really just found this thing where I was like, I have a niche. I can understand how to translate geek to human.
Yeah.
And that's a skill because they're
Totally.
Yes.
different
Absolutely.
languages.
Yeah.
And from there, I was very blessed to go work for a very forward-thinking PR agency, Voce Communications, worked with Dolby, Plantronics.
Yeah, I was going to say they sound
Sony
very familiar.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal. And the founders of that company, the ethos of the company, it was just fun and we worked hard, but we
was
had
that
a great
in
time.
the Bay
In the
Area also?
Yeah. And so from there, again, I saw this thing happening in LA where a lot of these entertainment companies were like, wait a minute, we're getting into this tech thing. We're getting
Oh,
into
everybody!
this.
So there's this. The whole transition happened over the past 10 years, where people are trying to figure out. I can remember going to a media agency, and I was in the elevator with the owner of Mercury Media, and I said to him, Dan, you know what we should be doing is we need to open up a division at Mercury Media that is basically digital division. And he goes, well, why would I do that? And I said, well, why wouldn't you do that?
It's the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's not the future. It's here.
It's now.
Well,
Now
no,
it's
now.
now.
Back
It was
then,
the future.
it was, yeah.
You know,
But now it's
and they have a
here.
digital division now, of course. Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
meeting you are such a quintessential, and not the quintessential bad type of publicist, but the quintessential like publicist who I can see you can talk to anybody, you can theoretically, quote unquote, sell anything, and you have just like this infectious charisma and energy about you.
Oh, thanks.
But I know there has to be, and what's really cool is that you've gotten so many different perspectives of the industry, which is huge to be able to hone your craft and then create
To know
your
what-
own
know
sort of
to-
PR branding,
It's
and
Yeah, it's important to understand things on the surface can always look one way, right? And it can look glamorous, and it can look
Sure.
easy, and it can look
Oh,
whatever it
God.
might be.
God.
anyone that says PR is glamorous or easy, and it's
watches too
not,
much television.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was really interesting. You guys talked about some really great things in the it's actually on NRPR Group.com. There's the videos of you with your interviews that you do with Ken.
Yes,
right?
Ken.
Yeah, and they're awesome. They're
Thank
awesome.
you.
So, and I wish I could have just been like, I want to talk now. Because he's very engaging, and he's really, and then you were interviewing this one girl, and I have to admit, I was creating some ads for for Twitter and stuff as I'm listening to you in my head. I was multitasking with two computers, and I'm listening to you.
That's right.
Not watching, just listening. But there was a girl on. There was a guest, and she had. I had the same reaction as you guys did. She had changed she was going to change her name of her company or something like that.
Oh.
And you both, I didn't have to see the visual. I could feel it.
Yeah.
Well, no, don't do that. And I went like this. No, don't do that.
I think that was the one with Pocket for SoGal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I find it so wonderful to listen to people who I've been in marketing and advertising and direct response and production and creative and running back end campaigns and doing all of this stuff, building websites and packaging for 20 years. And it's so refreshing to talk to people who, like yourself, and to listen to you and Ken, because you really kind of get, the reason why when she said, oh, I'm going to change that, and you reacted like that, I was like, whoa, yes, she's on my show tonight. I was so happy. No, seriously, because a lot of people don't understand why you don't pivot like that, why you don't do things like that, the domino effect it has across the board.
Absolutely. I think, one thing, having a brand that was so young and changing it all of a sudden makes you look finicky. And it takes time to build a brand, to build a name, no matter how many years you've had in a certain industry, no matter how long you've been somewhere else. It's just the rule of the universe, I think, that
absolutely.
when you change
That's a really good
brand,
way to put it.
You become then a new snowflake.
What?
And the snowball effect has to rebuild.
And so
And
many
there's no
clients
other way
don't
around
know
it.
that.
And you got to take the
Well,
time. Thank you.
There's,
Thank you.
They're
there's
like, what's wrong? It's been 2 months. Why am I not in O Magazine?
How come
Why
I didn't go
haven't
from 0 to 4?
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I
why
feel-
isn't
oh
Oprah
my
calling
God.
me? I'm not a favorite thing.
You guys are so funny
okay.
because PR is something like I had a publicist once back in the early 90s, is Ray Costa. I don't know if you know Ray Costa Communications. And it was so funny because I was a very successful infomercial and I was a spokesperson. And so, we're traveling all over the place and he's booking me here and booking me there. And I can remember walking in and sitting down and he sat across from me and I looked at him and I said, okay, so what are you going to do different than the last guy did? Like this. And I'm like 32. I'm 61 now, right? I'm like 30, whatever. So what are you going to do different than the last guy did that took all the money and didn't do anything like that? And I said, don't tell me you're going to get to know me. It's going to
Love
take.
hearing that,
No,
too.
hold on.
That's a
It's going to
norm.
take you 3 months to get to know me, right? Don't tell me that, Ray. And he said, I'm not going to tell you that.
Funny.
But then Ray did things, because there is this thing. There's marketing. There's public relations. Marketing is not public relations. It's not your publicity. You talk about so many things that I'm so anxious to talk to you about. You talk about press releases, how press releases are important, but they're not all
They're not
that
the end all, be all.
important.
Yeah.
No, dude. No, dude. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not how
There's-
important people think they are.
No.
They're a stake in the ground when you really want to. It's almost like a historical build. When you launch your company and you set a stake in the ground, it's real. You have a timeline. Your timeline
totally.
starts.
You're beginning that timeline.
And right there, a full press release kind of coming out saying this is what I'm doing, that's one thing. It's a small tool. But at the same time, if you're not talking to media who will say why your launch is so important,
Right.
then it's just a
Right.
stake in the ground that's quiet and nobody really knows about it. And that's why one of the things at NRPR Group, I'll tell you, we're going to be celebrating 2 years in June.
Congratulations.
I've been in the industry 16 years in June, but we've never, ever sent an email blast from our company, ever.
I love
Fucking
that.
A.
I
Sorry,
love
I
that.
just cursed everybody, but you know what?
Internet radio, we're allowed to do that, right?
built an entire toilet stool company
Yes.
with no money in
Blasts.
media. Thank
There
you.
you go.
Well, I've
Thank
never
you.
discovered a
I've
new
never
company
sent one
through an
email. I
blast, so
refuse to do
it. Doesn't work.
It's lazy and it doesn't.
It is lazy.
work.
It doesn't work. And oh my God, I could pontificate, but I won't. But I'm very proud of the fact
Thank
that you don't.
You don't need it.
You don't. And you know what? You also were talking about, and I do the same thing, Twitter. What a magical free machine.
Yes.
And if you know
It's
how to
immediate
use
online
it and know
content.
what to do, you don't have to be paying. The other thing is that Facebook took my ad account away from me after I was very successful, trained by Facebook. I'm in DR for 20 years, all ads approved, and Facebook has this thing that, well, sorry you didn't comply. We're not going to tell you why. We're not going to give you a reason. So I have no ability to do anything, but yet I still manipulate the shit out. I mean, I have my Facebook pages.
Yep.
I just can't have an ad account, which
Hey.
is absurd.
It's
But it doesn't really matter anymore. I mean,
well, I think
which means I can't have an Instagram sponsored ad account either, by the way.
they've cut you from both. I didn't know
did
that.
they acquire?
They took
Yeah, they
slapped
acquired
they
it.
acquired
Right.
Instagram.
Of course, one
Yeah.
goes
I
with the
can't
other
do
then.
any paid ads on Instagram. And because everything is the thing that you guys were also talking about, you were talking about having a business page on Facebook. And Ken said something, and I don't think he was right in what he said. He said that how Facebook works is you have to have a personal profile page before you can have any other pages, I believe. No?
It's so technically you don't. Actually, I take that back. You have to, in order for them to verify that you're a real person. Do you have to build it out? No. Do I recommend that you
Well,
do?
you can't have a business page unless you have a personal
Exactly.
profile.
You
Because
have to
they
be an
want to make sure
administrator.
exactly.
Right.
They want to make sure
So
you're
then
a real
they
person.
then they link it back. So here's what happens: is I have my radio show page,
Yep.
I have my C Spot Run social page
Uh-huh.
because I was building a social business to run people's social.
Yep.
I have my Wendi Cooper page, which
Mm-hmm.
is just nothing, right? It's my personal page, and then I have another page. Marketing filtered page.
Mm-hmm.
I can't run Easy Go Pro. I have my Easy Go Pro page, which I actually have a shopping. You can buy my product on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
but all of them are now connected because it all connected back to
one email
one
address.
email address,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't fudge it. Now I am waiting for them because I keep appealing and appealing and appealing because they won't tell me. But I have a feeling it was one ad where I used a guy in a bathing suit on a cell phone, and they approved it. It ran. It actually had I took a screenshot of it because it had a 10,
Yeah.
right? And then something
Someone
happened.
got offended.
Something,
Yeah.
but no, it was a guy sitting on the beach. You couldn't see his face. He was on a cell phone.
Oh.
And he was just sitting on the beach and he's on a beach and he was just on his cell phone like this. It was an awesome, I've been in advertising a long time. I only use awesome photos. And that's what it was. And it was like, hey, have fabulous abs or something for our Easy Go Pro toilet stool for the summer. And I boosted it and it got approved. But then I went to do it again like a month later.
And they didn't like it.
And I had a notice in the morning saying that your ad account has been
and they didn't give
taken
you a
away.
reason.
No reason.
So what are you supposed to
no
do?
remedy, no reason, and no one to
That's not-
contact.
That's
and
weird
if
because
Facebook
don't they
wants to
want you
keep making
spending
money,
money?
you should probably, look at the
I am.
businesses as big customers who are putting money into
Well,
this machine.
yes.
And
Yeah.
And it's
exactly.
ironic because I can't advertise for my radio show. I can't do anything. I can't do anything. It's like my hands are tied. But the good thing is that what I'm proud of is I still am very successful
Yes.
in doing, because I found ways of working around it. Because that's when you're in marketing, that's what you
Well,
do.
and they don't control
you
the
work
market.
around things.
get scrappy.
And you can't let them control the market and allow you.
They can control Facebook.
They can control Facebook, and that's where the buck ends on that, and then
They can control Facebook, and
Yeah.
Facebook controls Instagram. And Instagram's a hot place right now because Instagram is the place where, unlike Facebook you're paying for your likes.
Right.
No matter what, you're paying for a like, or else you're just getting likes from your own community or your personal community.
Organic, sure.
Maybe if you're getting those, because only 6 people will see things. They're not going to. It used to be
Or
everybody's
less.
or less.
It's actually now gotten down to 3 or 1%.
yes,
Of
3 or
your
1%.
actual real likes will see a post unless you physically boost it.
And you can't boost. Well, that's on a page.
Yeah.
But personally, you can't boost.
Right.
You can only boost on a business page.
On a
but-
business page.
Right. Oh shit! I lost my train of thought.
The original question was, do you have to grow your personal page in order to grow the businesses?
or even have a
or
personal
have a
page.
personal
Yeah.
page.
You do have to have a
That's right.
personal page.
Yes, just for the
But
the
be
email
careful. I'm just saying,
purposes.
this, everybody be careful, because I was looking forward to really utilizing Facebook, and I can't do that. And I know quite a few companies that the same thing happened to.
Right.
Right. And it affects everything, and it's really a shame. So you just have to be careful. Just be careful if you're using
Just-
Facebook. Be
yeah,
very,
word
very
of
careful.
Caution.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
always
Well,
Periscope.
here at UBN, I told Tony, because Facebook, you can have live audio now,
Yes.
live feeds,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I said, be really careful, because, one show that says the F word one too many times, you're going to get kicked off of Facebook.
Right.
And
that's
you will.
true.
So you just have to be really careful about
Yeah.
everything, because Mark Zuckerberg is a crazy person. He's a crazy person when it comes to control.
Sure.
And it's cool.
Yeah. To each his own. I think the successes of Facebook has been
It's phenomenal.
amazing. And for a millennial-run company, he was super young even to start something
Yeah,
like that.
it's
I mean,
incredible.
and it's like a unicorn kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to always
Absolutely.
happen. So giving props where they're due, definitely. But I completely
Yes,
understand.
but there's
anything
got to
that
be
just,
a remedy on it. There's got to be
agree.
a warning, and there has to be a remedy, and it can't be determined by artificial intelligence. There's quite a few. NPR did a special
That's
on
the
it, by the way.
problem.
NPR
Yeah.
did do a special on Facebook slamming accounts.
Yeah.
So, and it's not fair.
Yeah.
It's
no,
not
I
fair.
agree.
It's-
And especially if you put a lot of hope into it, and like you have
I'm
5
strapped.
pages
I'm
that are
strapped.
all tied to your email, and it's not like you can switch it out,
And that
put
takes
someone
a
back
lot of
in.
time.
I
to
can't do
build that stuff
anything.
up
I
and you
can't
get your
build my
followers
my
and-
radio show. I can't do
Right.
anything on Facebook, so I have to do it with other means. Which that's cool. I'll do it that way.
For sure.
Tony, we need to go to break, and we will be right back more with Nicole Rodrigues from
Rodrigues.
NRPR.
Yay.
In mountain climbing, as in business, an expert who knows the terrain can help you minimize risk and increase your chance of success. In the business of direct response TV advertising, Direct Avenue delivers clients to new heights of success because we're much more than a TV media buyer.
The thing that sets Direct Avenue apart from the other agencies out there are the people of Direct Avenue. They come in and they really enjoy what they do. They work hard at it, and seeing the clients become very successful because of the hard work that they put in is amazing.
With Direct Avenue, expect to receive expert planning, brand building, analysis, and management of short-form DRTV ad campaigns. With Direct Avenue, expect ad tracking and ROI optimization tools, including TIP, our top-down investment process tool, which gives advertisers greater insight into the behavior of media targets so the right media is selected for every campaign. POP, our pre-optimization process tool, ensures your media clearance and spending goals are met. With PAR, Predictive Analytics Review, you'll receive reports designed to assist all marketing partners in the optimization of your campaign. And you can expect high-definition reporting with HDR. HDR includes interactive mobile-ready dashboards with detailed insight into each campaign. As a Direct Avenue client, you can expect the full-service resources and the ad buying power of a big agency. But you can also expect the flexibility of a boutique agency, an agency that will adapt a TV ad campaign to meet the particular needs of your company.
The key to our success is making sure that we're hands-on. Every single client-facing individual is senior level, so you get a hands-on experience every single day with every single client.
For a free analysis of your current DRTV spending plan, give us a call at 760-579-4210. We'll prove our expertise by showing you precisely how you'll receive a greater ROI with Direct Avenue as your partner. With Direct Avenue, expect more. For more information, visit directavenue.com.
Are you sick of being stressed, overwhelmed, and unmotivated? Do you feel life is running you instead of you running your life? If so, then listen up. There's a breakthrough program built on over 100 years of therapies commonly used with America's returning veterans to help them successfully overcome PTSD, pain, and depression. According to the Huffington Post, in 2012, when music therapy was added to the rehabilitation program at Walter Reed's Medical Center for Wounded Veterans, medical professionals noticed patients' positive emotional response to music. Music has been shown to improve the quality of life. If you're looking for alternative healing for anxiety, depression, and pain, why not experience the therapeutic ability of Whole Tones? Whole Tones makes use of specially designed frequencies inspired by King David, interweaved through soothing songs that stimulate your body's natural healing process. If it works for battle-scarred vets, can it work for you? Experience it for yourself for free at freewholetones.com. That's freewholetones.com. That's free, W-H-O-L-E, tones.com.
Hey there! Do you know how your puborectalis muscle works? Well, here's your colon, where waste is stored thanks to the puborectalis muscle that pinches your colon shut until you're ready to go. But there's a problem. The invention of the toilet. It changed everything, except our anatomy. See, we're all created to squat to go, but we don't. We sit, and sitting only partially relaxes the muscle. We end up straining and pushing. EasyGo Pro fixes the problem instantly just by elevating your feet. Your hips shift to a natural position, and that unpinches your colon, and that allows it all to flow easier. Reinventing the toilet isn't an option, but you can make yours better. EasyGo Pro. It's ergonomic, sturdy, compact, and stores completely out of the way. Plus, one size works for everyone. EasyGo Pro. Go time just got easier.
Hey, we are back. Hi,
Back
John.
here. Hi, we're back here with Nicole Rodrigues. Thanks so much for being here with us.
Oh, thanks for having me. This has been amazing.
So go ahead. No, John always has really great questions. So, John, do you have any really great question before I jump back in?
Yeah, before you just go on your role again. No, which the roles are good, but this is so my wheelhouse because I used to do the exact same thing you did, and I just got so burned out from it. Because we were talking before about how, the email blasts don't work. We hate them and commend you for never sending one out of your company.
Ever.
And, there's a lot of other things that even when I would tell the client this is not going to benefit you, don't pay this to don't pay us to make us do this because it's not going to benefit. Do it anyway. And that frustrated me, and that would just kill me sometimes,
Well,
spending hours a day doing work for something that you knew would do nothing. And it's literally just appeasing
But
the
is
client.
that the client telling you
That's the
to
client,
do that?
yes.
Oh, sure. So
and you say, no, you hired us because we're the experts here. You listen to what we say.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, interesting.
No.
Yeah,
fine. If you're on retainer, fine.
We didn't have email when I had a publicist.
No. To be honest, and I would say the hardest thing is when you have a CMO or a VP of marketing or a director of marketing who's like, well, I've been in marketing forever. I know how to direct you guys, and they don't actually take the time to learn journalist schedules, media preferences,
journalist
media
moods, times of the
you.
year that it is that affects journalists.
Absolutely. And it's like, no, we need to just do this. And you guys just need to just put out a press release and then it's going to do this.
Right.
And I've spent a lot of time educating clients, breaking them down. I think
That's
that's
like step one
literally
with clients
yeah,
sometimes, yeah.
and why I developed the practical guide to publicity. It wasn't for other PR people. It was for them a little bit, but it was mostly for the CMOs or CEOs who make the PR decisions, for the company, who hire us, who
Think they know what you do.
think they know what you do and have no idea.
Right.
So it's my subtle way of being, here's how it really works.
Right.
And if you're open to it, we're going to have we're going to have better results for you. And I've fired clients because they won't listen and because they want
I fired
to do it
Squatty
the old
Potty
way.
for that reason.
And because it's like, well, just put out a press release and don't you just blast it to 2,000 people? Absolutely not, and
No.
never.
No.
And never.
Yeah,
And
why would
well,
you
we
do
should
that?
put this out tomorrow. Oh, why? So why are we going to put it out tomorrow? Well, then people are going to cover it. Oh, you think it happens by magic? Let me actually tell you, it takes time. Journalists
and
are people.
relationships. It's come
Thank you.
on. It's not
Yeah,
just,
you talked about those how you get up at
Yeah.
5 o'clock in the morning and you have a dog. See, I did listen.
Yes. Oh,
And
thank
you have a
you.
dog, and you got your dog because it would get you up earlier in the morning. And the first thing
True.
you do is you get, I get a little overwhelmed because I feel as though I have to, because I do everything for,
yeah, I
and,
just show up.
and no, not for this.
Oh.
Oh,
This
he's
is like the
like,
least of
But
my
I just
worries
show up.
is this show. But running at that company, that
Sure.
toilet stool company,
Mm-hmm.
and then my other agency, because I'm doing the creative, I'm doing everything. And you feel a little overwhelmed to feel as though I need to be present on Twitter right now. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do this. And sometimes the voices start really talking in my head.
Especially when you're
about,
trying to fall asleep at night.
I really have
Yeah.
to. Yeah, how do you deal with that?
Well, I think I was very fortunate. Like I said, when I worked at Voce, we actually acquired a social media agency. So it was almost mandatory that we had to learn how to fit it into our everyday because we had to learn how to fit it into all of our clients. So anything that we were doing on the PR side, we had to think, what do we do with social media to make that work or take it farther?
Right.
And I really, really commend Voce for doing that. And it taught me. So I got on Twitter, and it was one of those things where little by little, it was exciting to like organically build that up. And I saw that there were certain things that I had to do that would just make 5 followers, 10 followers, 15 come at once. And I'm thinking,
Yeah, that's,
What-
it is
what
interesting.
there?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
What
yeah,
happened
and
there?
so it's just become a little part of the everyday, the way that I think, the way that I work. And I'm not living on Twitter every single day. But I also, when I started getting into the mode of, if one day I have my own agency, how am I going to let the world know that I have it? I need to start casting my net now so that when my company, didn't have a name yet, is launched, all these people that I've been building relationships with digitally, these people that I've been talking to over the years, who've been following my career, who know me as a person, they're going to support me.
For your lifestyle.
boobs
And
are
that's
sticking
that
out.
is exactly what I mean by you're just a natural publicist in that sense where you think about that and you're like, in the future, I'm going to need this in order to either A, make it easier so that I can jump off with a bang or make it just more successful.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned before we went to break that you love A to Z of the business.
Yeah.
But I know there has to be a question mark in
A
there.
Q in there.
There's got to be a Q in there that just gets in your butt, like what peeves you about it? Because, the parts that peeved me were the clients incessantly saying, no, I need you to throw out the email blasts and the press releases. I have a new bracelet, when I was in fashion, my new bracelet color. Press
gonna
release.
change the world.
That's not news. Why isn't it in Vogue?
You guys,
because it's not unique.
You guys have a whole. Everybody to me is kind of the same because I come from this product world, right? You guys are coming from almost like a branding world, right?
Yes.
And
Branding and PR, yeah.
exactly. And I'm thinking it's all the same.
Branding
It's
I
what you
love.
So
hear
much,
everywhere. It's like, oh, everybody's gonna love it, and everybody's gonna come, and they're just gonna fall from the sky, and people are just
That's
gonna
exactly
buy my
right.
product.
They're just
That's
gonna
exactly right.
find it.
And then they
Yeah.
expect you to do their marketing, and then they expect you to do their line sheets for you. And I'm like, I'm not. No.
Yeah.
That's your business man. That's whoever you have in house does your
Yeah.
line sheets. I'll tell
What's
you,
a line sheet?
like bracelet, this
Oh,
amount.
okay,
that,
like a
just,
sales sheet.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah.
sales sheet.
It just becomes too much.
So what
peeves
is
you?
what
What's
is
your
the,
thing?
Yeah, what
What's
is your thing?
cue?
And then I want to ask you the next question. And it's going to be because we are going to run out of time. My next question is going to be what percentage? I love in the show where you guys talk about your friend Ken.
Yeah.
I love what he says. I love when he says you can hire.
Oh, okay. I
Go
know
ahead.
that line. So, let's see. Hiring a professional is expensive,
Right.
But hiring an amateur is a fortune.
That's right. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it
Oh,
because
and
it
it's
is
so
such
So true.
So true.
perfect.
Yeah.
It is so perfect, and we deal with that every day, don't we?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And
You do every Tuesday.
Well, I do every day. No, not talking like that. No, when you're meeting with a client is basically going to say, "I'll give you a back end. Give me all your blood.
Oh,
give me all
yeah.
your
No,
time. Give me
yeah.
everything, and I'm going to give you a back end because you know what? You got sweat in the game." And it's like, no, I'm sorry, my fee is $10,000 a month, and that's what I take.
And that's still
that's
not
low.
24/7.
And
That's
that's
still
low.
not 24/7.
That's right, and
that's
that's
low,
only for
yeah.
a certain amount of hours
Yeah.
out of the month.
Yeah.
well,
right?
unfortunately, my employees cannot pay their bills with favors.
That's
we can't
right.
keep the lights
I
on
can't
with
buy my
favors
bread.
either.
No.
And I think that any company who is thinking about launching and not thinking about marketing almost
right.
first, it's
Absolutely,
not going to
Bye-bye.
work.
that needs
It's
to be
not gonna work.
your platform. You're jumping almost like the genesis of your thought for your
Yeah.
product. The marketing needs to be twined
Okay.
right in with that.
100%.
Can I? Yeah. When you going back to the name,
Uh-huh.
when you think, okay, you guys make fun of sometimes Easy Go Pro. A lot of thought went into the name
Sure.
Easy Go Pro, and then shut up, and
What
then
do you mean?
and then have you ever noticed what the tagline is in the trademark? Go time
time
just
just
got
got
easier.
Yeah.
So that in itself, everything about Easy Go Pro, Go Time just got easier. That's my message.
Yeah.
And that's what I build my message on.
Yeah.
Everything that I do goes back to
That.
it's easy. It
ethos.
makes your life easier. There's a lot of thought that went into Easy Go Pro as opposed to freaking Squatty Potty. Okay. No, but
Right,
anyway.
or Toilet Stool Pro.
Or
make
whatever,
your
right.
go time more fun. No,
Right.
but the word itself, easy, right? Is
That's
a,
right.
Is a marketing,
That's right.
quote unquote
Was
trick.
it's if you can make someone else's life. This is something in DR. If you can make someone else's life easy and affordable, the item is affordable and it makes their life better. It's our mantra.
Yeah.
That is all anybody cares about, and that is what we sell. Is we will change your life, we will make it better, and you can afford
That's
it.
basically
Period.
what consumerism revolves around: is making your life
Yes.
easier or making you look like
All
something.
you have to do
that
is
you
remember
want to
that.
be.
There you go.
You know, and that goes back to your friend who started the mobile
Mobi
TV.
TV.
Uh-huh.
Exactly, kind of anticipating and knowing where that was
Sure.
going to go.
He was a rocket scientist.
and
so
making it easier.
And mobile
Now
back
we
in
can run our
back in the day,
companies
mobile
on
was
these.
tough, man.
it was
tough.
super tough. Oh my gosh.
But like,
And-
you don't even have to be in the office, right? You can basically run the
I-
show from your phone.
yeah, and sometimes
and maybe and
sometimes
your
I have
laptop.
to, Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to,
Yeah.
especially being in PR, because you're
Running
not always
around
there. Yeah,
a trillion places at a
exactly.
time. But back to the original question about what I don't like.
Yes.
I'll tell you the one thing that I don't like is when other PR people, publicists, whatever, don't take what we do so seriously that they don't mind doing a bad job, because then that
Mm.
makes it
You are my
worse
daughter.
for those who are trying to come in and do right
Oh
by
my
clients, do
God.
right by media,
Yes.
and go the long way when you have to.
Why be in the industry if you're not going to kick ass at
Because
it,
you
Exactly.
or
can.
at least try or
Here's
want
why.
to?
Exactly.
Because they can.
Yeah.
Because people pay them and people pay them and people pay them. And then we have the conversation that you and I have
Yeah.
all of the time, because we get to the client gets to us and the
They've been
client
burned.
wants us to save them. And that
Oh,
client
God,
wants
yeah.
us to do it for free.
Yep.
Because they have wasted so much money trusting other people.
And listen, just get us through the first year, and once we start knocking out of the park, oh boy, will you be
No.
You'll be getting a big treat your way. It's like, it never happens that way. You just
Ever.
get greedier and greedier and want more and more.
Yeah, no, and
and
they
then you
have
get
to
treated
make,
like shit because you don't
do.
get paid enough money for.
At 1 a.m. when they're calling you and
Ex-
treating you like they're their freaking business managers.
exactly, and you're like, dude,
Not in our
Don't.
contract.
don't. There are boundaries.
Out of the scope.
Yes,
But it's
not
the-
in agreement.
The main thing is when they're not putting the right allocated budget behind it, it just means they don't take it as seriously. And those are the ones that that make it the hardest on you anyway, because it's like, well, here's my X amount of dollars, and just make it work, make it look like this, and then they're like, well, why aren't you getting this, and why aren't you getting that? And it has nothing to do with the money. When I first started the company, I'll tell you, I knew what my worth was.
Sure.
But I also knew that I had to start the snowball effect.
Yeah.
And
Prove
I
your
made
worth.
sure, exactly. I had to make sure that NRPR and our systems and the way that I was thinking that we were going to do this worked. So it was almost like, you allow me to sort of test run some of these things that in my gut I know are the right way. And for that, we can go ahead and give you a better deal.
Sure.
It
Just
works.
in the beginning.
Give me
And
creative
now it
ideas.
does. And
Right.
now we know.
That's
and now
right.
my team knows. And I'm like, these systems have built our company. I went from me
It's your differentiator.
to 14 people on my team in under 2 years.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Because the long way works.
For a boutique
and
agency,
because
that's a
working hard
hefty amount of
works.
people, too.
Yeah. And they're awesome. And
It's a good size. That's like
Thank
a
you.
perfect size.
yeah, no, they're
I
awesome.
think that
Are you
your
hiring?
I know, right? Hey, if you have the right
I am
gusto and the
unemployed as
guts,
of
really.
yesterday.
as
For
a
real?
Friday,
Yeah. I was running agencies and with agencies since I was 20. Started in the UK, and then I took a little bit of time off to do another side job
Right.
for a friend. And yesterday was my last day. And,
And
now
you
I'm
don't like
chilling.
blasts. You
And-
like making relationships with media.
Yeah,
You totally
I love
get it,
the
and you can
media
write.
relationships. That's my favorite, and
We'll
the
talk.
writing's my favorite.
We'll talk.
Oh,
Just
that's
don't
awesome.
don't make me do social media blasts either. 'Cause that I can't do.
that's-
That's the one thing that my brain doesn't compute. Can't compute.
No,
Can't
we
get it.
have a social media department. Chris, shout out to Chris. He's awesome. So Chris kind of runs that,
That's
but
a
we
whole
need it.
art in itself.
Yeah,
you do.
no, we
and with my
absolutely-
agency, I couldn't do it. I had
Yeah.
to find and hire somebody to literally do it because I was like,
Well,
I don't like it. I can't do it. It's an art.
There
You
you
get
go.
the art. Please do it for me.
By all
Yeah.
means.
I'm going to make a couple of recommendations
Okay.
on air, and I think that there's a podcast that I think that you would enjoy. I'm sure you listen to podcasts, and I don't know if you've ever listened to Bob Norp's The Beancast.
No.
But it's hot
I hear
topics
so
of
much about
of
the
today,
Bean.
today marketing. It's marketing and advertising topics.
Okay.
And the people that he has on, I've been listening. It's the reason I do radio.
Awesome.
It's because I was on Bob's show maybe 5 years ago as an expert, and I just, Kabbalah teacher basically told me I need to get outside of my comfort zone, so I did radio. And I was like, I don't want to do radio. I was so nervous on Bob Norp's show. I was like, oh, God, I was studying the notes for 3 days. And,
That's
But the Beancast, so if you listen to the
Okay.
Beancast, it's fresh every Monday
Okay.
on iTunes. But it is the most intelligent, funny. It can be
Love.
funny, but it's not. But it's the topics of today in marketing and advertising and in the digital space and everything. I think you would really enjoy it. I
Good,
think
okay.
anyone who's listening that wants to, and I'm only saying this because I will not miss it.
Mm-hmm.
I literally will not miss it. And sometimes he'll have people on where I'm sitting in my car and I'm just going, I gotta stop. I gotta text them. Seriously, because they're like speaking the same, the attitudes and he has such great guests on, and it's an opinion show,
Right.
and it's awesome for that reason. And you can really learn a lot. I would also suggest that. Do you do the show with Ken every week, or what
yeah,
do you do?
Usually weekly. I'm one of the insider experts on digital marketing and publicity and positioning.
I think it's awesome. And I would love to meet that guy someday because he has such a tremendous energy, and I really love his show.
Ken is a great person, and we can certainly make that
Really
happen.
great.
His birthday's on Thursday, so
Happy
shout out.
birthday,
That's my
Ken.
dad. That's
Yeah,
my
the
dad's
early
the
birthday.
5th. The
Yeah,
5th?
the 5th.
That's my
It's
dad's
Sandy's
Cinco de
B-Day?
Mayo. Yeah, Sandy's
Oh,
birthday.
no way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to gear up to do some toilet stool little fun thing on Twitter for Cinco de Mayo. I come
Maybe
up with
we
these
can
really
get
funny
Easy
things.
Go Pro to go on to Business Rock Stars.
No, well, Easy Go Pro as an entrepreneur.
Yes.
I would love to go on Business Rockstars for 3 different
bit of both,
reasons.
right?
Okay. We have to end the show
No.
soon. in the next couple of minutes. But there's certain things that I want to get in really quick. So I want to make sure that anybody listening goes to nrprgroup.com, and that's where you can go under videos. I think it's under videos because those shows are very dynamic. I think they're maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes.
Yeah, just about.
Very quick, very great. I love them.
And check out the client list. It's quite impressive.
Yes, your client
Quite
list
hefty and
is.
impressive.
So the Raiders are coming back here.
No, unfortunately,
They're
we
not.
weren't able to make that happen. Trying to get all the positioning done. I think it would have been a really good move for the Raiders, but I think there's some valid reasons why the NFL went against it. I'll just keep that.
We'll talk about that off air.
It was cool. I lived across the street from them when the quarterback, when Rusty Hilger, when they I think their last couple of years when they were here in Manhattan Beach. Yeah, I used to party with the Raiders in my younger days.
There you go.
Yeah, before I was married to Marina.
It's a great family to be a part of. I'm still very close.
Oh,
to
the guys
them.
were cute.
Oh,
We played frisbee on the beach a lot.
Oh yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why you never left
It was
the beach.
a long time ago, guys.
Never left the
Long
beach.
time ago. But the last Raiders game I went to at the Coliseum, I have to say, I left for fear of my life.
Go Raiders!
Yeah,
Okay,
I
well-
did. I did. I did. The community, the Raider community, was a little scary.
They're like, that's Wendy. No.
Okay, so what's coming up for you? Anything really exciting?
Oh
or?
gosh. Well, our
Yeah, anything we should know about?
Yeah, sure. Let me just think. I mean, more growth. Our 2-year anniversary is June 4th, which is amazing. So I've already pre-planned in my head the domination.
PR
that'll-
release.
Yeah,
The
of
press
course.
release, right? the
The
blast.
the sort of the growth that we're going to have in our 3rd year. I really feel confident that my team has really gelled with the playbook that we follow at NRPR
Well, you're
Group.
going to put it on your vision
And
board.
Yes, absolutely. And also our Practical Guide to Publicity video series just got announced yesterday that we won a Hermes Creative Award for Best
awesome.
Educational
No
series.
way. That's
Yeah.
dope. Good for
Yeah.
you.
So
That's
it's
huge.
It's just me doing my part to educate the CMOs, the CEOs, and everyone.
Oh,
who
that's
thinks
the
they know
hardest
Do you know
how to
thing.
what
do.
though? For
That's
your
the hardest
own
thing.
branding,
Yeah.
that gives you so much more brevity and like, oh, so she can do my branding and PR, but she's also an expert in the field that other branding and publicists are listening to.
Exactly.
No
And
brainer.
Well, I think
Hire Nicole.
I think your agency. Sorry, John.
Yeah,
think,
you're fully back turned to me right now, but that's cool.
I know, but nobody knows that but you. I think here. Let me talk to the camera. What I love about you is that is there's substance to everything that we do. And there's reason to things that we do. And we can be creative and we can be wonderfully flighty and personable and dynamic and all of those things. But at the end of the day, it goes back to understanding the guts, the fundamentals of what makes something work.
Yes.
And that's where you live, is you live in those
Every day.
fundamentals. And that's what makes you so different and so awesome. And
Thank
that,
you.
my dear, is your cool,
my speed to cool.
your speed to
Your
cool.
speed to
Thank you.
Thank
cool.
you.
Oh,
That's
I
it.
suffer with
Love that.
That's it. I know you do. I listen to
I'm
you
like,
suffer with it.
Why do you always
Yes.
ask?
But it's because you understand the heart and the core of what needs to be done and how it's done that makes you so great at what you do on the surface. And that's
There is
your speed to
so
cool.
much more to
Thank
talk about with
you.
Nicole.
Yes,
So
it's
let's
great.
consider this Nicole part 1.
Holler.
Part 2 coming soon.
Okay, there you
Can we
go.
get a
Yes,
promise? You'll
absolutely.
come back and visit
Promise.
us?
Oh my gosh.
Good.
As
Absolutely.
now that I know the parking sitch,
Yeah,
I'll
we'll
just
make it
Uber.
easier now. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'll totally
Just
You'll just
Uber,
Uber.
girl. Just Uber, dude.
That's
Yeah.
what John does.
Like, screw it.
Now I'm finally getting hot. So anyway, thank you for being
Thank
here.
you so
Nicole.
much.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this
Seriously.
was super fun and
Great.
dynamic.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Yeah, you were too.
Thanks.
Little spitfire over there.
Yeah.
Love it.
Dynamo.
Little dynamo.
Dynamo.
Yeah.
Awesome.
John, thank you for
Thank
being here. I'm having a flash, guys.
I know
I
she's
am
having. We
having a hot
got you,
flash.
Wendy.
Sorry,
You are a joy, Nicole. It's been amazing to get to
You
know
guys
you.
are amazing.
Tony,
both of
thank you for
Thank
being
and
here
Tony,
tonight.
as always, thank you for, being
working
our
our
main man.
board. John's so sweet. He'll do anything to make me happy. And we'll see
you next
Jesus. We'll see
Tuesday.
everybody
See
next
you
Tuesday.
next Tuesday.
Oh,
Goodbye,
okay. Thank you for
everybody.
listening,
Thank you.
everybody. Good night. Thank you, Nicole.
Hey there, do you know how your puborectalis muscle works? Well, here's your colon, where waste is...
C-Spot Talk Marketing Unfiltered is made possible by our sponsors, Direct Avenue, the television media agency where you can expect more. Contact them at directavenue.com. Ending music is courtesy of Tom Orsi at Orsi Digital. You can download audio episodes of C-Spot Talk Marketing on iTunes, Spreaker, and Stitcher, or enjoy the full-length video uncut on YouTube. Just search for C-Spot Talk in your directory, and while you're there, make sure to subscribe. Special thanks to John Hamilton and Tony Sweet for making Tuesdays the best night of the week. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, just send me an email at wendy@cspotrun.com. Thanks for listening. See you next week.